Vice Chancellor, once more, thank you very much. Industry representatives who are here, SITAs, NSA members, SACPO, senior officials from my department led by the acting DG, ladies and gentlemen, and comrades. I'm told wherever we are, there are comrades all the time. Thank you very much for this. Let me first start by really expressing my gratitude to Undersecretary McHale, who in our brief discussion over lunch in a very modest restaurant, by the way, next to Capitol Hill, during my trip to the US, as she says, just over a month ago, immediately agreed to be part of this roundtable discussion today. She also made a number of concrete suggestions that I will talk to here just now. But I must say this. I've been a minister now for 2 years. I had forgotten when I was appointed. You reminded me, Prof. Thank you very much. It feels like 20 years rather than 2 years. Maybe I'm disclosing secrets, Undersecretary, from our discussion. She said, you know, one thing that frustrates her in this job is that government is very slow. The bureaucracy is very slow. And having worked for such a large corporation, one of the things that she's trying to do is to push this government. Now, in my 2 years, is the first time I've signed a number of agreements with other countries, but this is the fastest ever cooperation agreement. Discussed only just over a month ago, and it has now come to fruition. Not only that, it has grown beyond what we discussed in Washington. And secondly, also is the fastest response. I do invite ministers from other countries, my colleagues, and is the fastest response to an invitation to visit South Africa. Normally takes a year, but this one just took over 1 month. Thank you very much. I would like to say that this cooperation will go a long way in assisting us in our objective to strengthen our further education and training colleges as the hub of skills development in this country. So thank you very much. I would also like to thank the US business people operating in South Africa for initiating this meeting. The role of our ambassador, of our ambassador Gibbs in facilitating this also so quickly. We really think that this is setting us on a course that will make a major contribution to one of the most critical challenges facing our country, which is skills development. Let me briefly remark on the objectives of the Department of Higher Education and Training, particularly as they relate to this forum. As you may all be aware, the Department of Higher Education and Training is relatively new, just about 2 years old now, and has brought together under one department further education and training colleges, adult basic education and training, universities, and skills development institutions. And our mandate covers the entire post-school system, not post-matric, post-school, given the fact that hundreds of thousands of our students, by the way, leave school before they reach grade 12. So we sometimes refer to ourselves that we are the department that deals with both those students who have succeeded in school and those who have failed. They are all our responsibility in terms of providing opportunities for further education and training. Part of our objective is to make work-integrated learning a central component of our education and training system. Research indicates that work experience, as the Undersecretary was saying, plays a critical role in employability. But beyond that, some of our universities of technology and our FET programs have workplace learning as a critical component of a qualification. Therefore, learners must, after a period of academic training at an institution, spend a particular period in the workplace for practical training in order for them to attain a qualification. Due to the limitations we have had in this area, we in fact have a number of young people who have completed their academic programs at institutions of learning, but because they could not get workplace training, are unable to attain their qualifications. It is a huge wastage of resources. As a country, for instance, we would invest 2 years in a student at a university of technology who is doing a diploma in engineering and fail to get the last year, 12 months, and drops out of the system. That is why we are placing the issue of work-integrated learning at the center of this. Similarly, we have a challenge with students who have completed the basic vocational certificate at FET colleges, who also are unable, many of them, to get placement. But we are seeking to address this challenge by forging a closer relationship between employers, our sector education and training authorities, and FET colleges and universities. And we think that this partnership will play a very important role in strengthening our FET colleges. And also this initiative, this gathering today, we also hope that will take us a step further to say what role, especially for US companies, can they play in opening up their companies for the placement of our young people in particular. The other objective, which is partly related to the reason why we visited the United States earlier this year, as part of the Deputy President's delegation at the invitation of Vice President Joe Biden, is related to our efforts and intention to expand education and training provisions and opportunities for millions of young people in this country. One of the biggest challenges facing us are young people who are not in education, not in employment, not in training. And this challenge is huge. We estimate at the moment that more than 3 million young people between the ages of 18 and 24 are in this category. There's waste of young talent, but it's a ticking political time bomb as well if we do not address it as a country. A significant proportion of these young people have also, as I have said, not completed a senior secondary education. The others have senior secondary education, but obviously do not have university entry requirements. The critical point with regards to this group of young people is that we have limited alternative education and training pathways for them to raise them to a point where they can at least be able to access further opportunities related to skills development and or higher education. One could conclude, judging by the numbers that we have, that to expand means to absorb them is very important. And FET colleges for now are very important institutions through which we seek to absorb young people. But the challenge is that our public FET colleges do not have a very positive reputation. So, under Secretary McHale, at the center of what we want to do is to make these colleges colleges of choice. And two critical things that will help us to achieve that. The one is upgrading them, improving quality, which this program will contribute to that, But secondly, to ensure that every FET college student must at least get 12 months workplace experience. In that way, we will be able to attract young people to these colleges. We are the only country in the world that has got 4 university students per 1 college student. It should be the opposite, actually. Now, part of the reason for our visit, therefore, was to learn some lessons from the community college system in the United States. It is our understanding that one of the things that these colleges have managed to achieve for the US society is open up opportunities not only for young people, but also for adults, as well as those who are already in employment who want to upgrade their skills or change career or start a new career. We have also learned that there is a very close working relationship and partnership between community colleges and local employers. And it was clear to us that US community colleges have a complex mandate, and some of the work that they are doing in our case is the responsibility of the SETAs, for instance. For example, understanding the needs of industry's needs, skills needs, and ensuring that these are met through training provision, in our case is largely the responsibility of the SETAs. US community colleges this year have 13 million students, 60% of whom are part-time, which is what we need, by the way. We need more opportunities for part-time. And there is no better place to say that than at Unisa. While we accept that there are differences between the United States and South Africa in terms of the challenges, levels of development, and so on, but we are of the view that there is a lot that we can learn from the community colleges system. Hence the importance of this partnership. We have agreed to find willing partners from both South Africa and the United States to pilot this initiative of cooperation between colleges here, community colleges, and employers, especially US companies. We have agreed with the Undersecretary that we will give full support to this initiative. I'm just worried that she's running at a faster pace than we are. It is not a luxury for us. We must work towards addressing the plight of the many young people who are not in education, who are not in employment, and who are not in training. By the way, who are also not severely disabled. It is thus heartening when industry representatives, in recognition of the importance of this task and these challenges, have indicated that they would like to participate in the implementation, for instance, of our national skills development strategy. I welcome this initiative and would like us to work together with industry to achieve our skills development objectives. Initiatives to address the challenges that I've just outlined are at the center of our national skills development strategy. And I'm looking forward to hearing from industry representatives some of their proposals on how we can work together in this challenge, in addressing the issue of skills development. Most importantly, building partnerships where we all share the burden of addressing skills development. And also, how do we galvanize resources that is in our hands to make sure that we are able to advance, especially work-integrated learning, with our FET colleges being at the center of this effort. Thank you very much, and let me thank all of you as well who have attended and decided to be part of this very historic and important cooperation agreement between South Africa and the United States. Thank you very much.